Hi, welcome to my video. Today we're going to learn how to do a hem. Here's my seam gauge, my needle with my thread, pins, seam ripper, and scissors and an iron. First, I want to show you that you're going to roll up your hem of your skirt, and you want to start at the seam, one of the seams that you have on your skirt or your pants, whatever you're using, and you want to roll your hem, and you're going to roll it 2 times, so you'll have a double hem. As you can see, I did use the pinking shears. So I'm beginning to roll at the seam, and in my double roll I'm pinning it, and I'm going to measure 1 inch. So I'm going to use my measuring gauge to make sure that I am using 1 inch. There you have 1 inch there. So again, I'm using the double roll, making sure that I am measuring it out and making sure that it is 1 inch. And then you pin it. And you see that I alternated, where I measured first and then I pinned. One of the things that you want to do is to make sure that you have a nice professional hem. That's why you would need to iron it out to make sure that your hem is in place, as well as using your straight pins to guide you. And I'm just speeding it along so this way we can get to the next step. And you repeat the process. It's a little tedious, but it will work out in the end. It's for your best interest. Okay, so now we get ready to go ahead and iron it out. Now, yes, you may have ironed over the pins, but that's okay. So now I'm beginning to pin my, start the hemming rather with the thread, and I'm starting on a seam line. So now my first stitch I'm going to do is to lock it in, because I have 2 knots on the end of my thread. So I want to lock it in place. So I do it a couple of times, and then I just loop it over as well to make sure it locks in place. And you will see me do that. The one thing about when you're sewing when you're hemming and you got long string, it can get tangled. See, I looped the strings over the needle so that I can lock it in. And then I usually do it a different way. You know, there's so many different ways you can do things. And I like to pull it almost close to the stitch, and then I put it through the thread like a loop, and I tie the knot. So now I'm going to push the thread out the way, and I'm getting ready to start my blind stitch. I take a little bit of the back stitch there, a little bit of the fabric, just very little, and a little bit of the hem line so that I can use this blind stitch. Now I may call it something different than what you might see on a YouTube, but it all feels the same. So it's the same process. You take a little bit of the fabric that will show through on the outside and a little bit of the hemline. So to me, I call that a blind stitch because you really can't see it from the inside. But you also have to consider that I'm using white thread only to show you as an example. But if you use the black thread, it won't show that much. So just take a little bit. As you can see, you're going through. You take a little bit from the back and then a little bit from the front. Okay. And you want to keep your thread towards the back so that it doesn't get tangled or knotted up. As you can see how you take a little bit from the back and the hemline. And as you can see, you do see a little bit of the thread going through the fabric, but if I was using the black thread, you wouldn't be able to see that. Okay, put another stitch there. And if it does get tightened up, you want to loosen it out so that it won't be bunched up as you're doing it. And now what I'm going to do is show you a different type of hem stitching, and where it's like an overstitch. I call it an overstitch. It might be called something else, but I call it an overstitch. And this is where you will see the stitching more or less on top. And as you do each stitch, you want to make sure you have the same length of stitching. Okay. You want to be consistent in your hand stitching, but it will come in practice. The more you keep practicing, it will get better. You might get stuck a couple times too, but that will get better. So as you can see again, that stitching you still see, but if you had black thread, it wouldn't show. But you can still get the same results either way. And so now what I'm going to do is get ready to lock the stitch as if, once I come around, do the same stitch. And now I'm getting ready to lock it the same way that I did in the beginning. You loop it, and you might want to do this 2 or 3 times just to make sure that the thread doesn't come loose. And you loop it through the thread. Okay. And now what you're going to do is you're going to cut off a good amount of the string you're going to leave behind so that you can tie your 2 knots. And then cut off the excess string. I hope you like this video. Please like, share, and put your comments in.